They told her this cat had been at the shelter for 127 days. Most orange tabbies get adopted in a week, but Fern wasn't most cats. She was sitting in the back corner of her cage, massive paws crossed, staring at nothing, like she'd stopped expecting anything good to happen. The shelter volunteer lowered her voice. She's been passed over 43 times. People say she's too big, too old, too ordinary. But here's what those 43 people didn't see. When she knelt down and whispered, "Hey there, big girl," Fern's ear twitched. Then those golden amber eyes shifted, and for half a second, something flickered. Not hope exactly, more like a question. Are you different? She opened the cage door slowly. Fern didn't rush forward like the kittens in the front row. She didn't meow or perform. She just sat there, this magnificent ginger giant with white paws, waiting to see if this human would actually stay. And if you've ever looked into the eyes of an animal that's been disappointed too many times, you know that look cuts different. Most people scroll past the older cats, the quiet ones who don't perform for attention. But what if the cats nobody wants are often the ones who'll change your life the most? If stories like this matter to you, hit that subscribe button, because what happens next will make you see shelter cats differently forever. She reached out her hand. Fern sniffed it once, twice, then did something unexpected. She stood up, stretched like she was making a decision, and walked straight into her arms. Not frantically, not desperately, but deliberately, like she was choosing her person after months of waiting. That orange fur was softer than it looked, and underneath, she could feel Fern's heart beating steady and strong. The adoption counselor seemed shocked. She's never done that before. She usually just sits. We were worried she'd shut down completely. The paperwork said Fern was 7 years old, front declawed, likely surrendered when her previous owner moved. She'd been someone's pet, knew what love felt like, and had been waiting 4 months wondering if she'd ever feel it again. The ride home was quiet. Fern sat in her carrier, not crying or scratching, just watching the world pass by. When they arrived, she opened the carrier in the living room. Fern emerged slowly, taking in the space with those intelligent golden eyes. She sniffed the couch, tested the carpet with one massive paw, then looked back as if asking permission. "This is your home now," she said softly. "You can do whatever you want." Fern walked to the kitchen, sat by the counter, and waited. That's when she realized this cat had been trained to wait for permission for everything. 4 months in a cage had reinforced it. Fern had learned not to take up too much space, not to ask for too much, not to expect anything unless explicitly offered. Day 1 was careful. Fern ate when food was placed down, used the litter box, then found a spot on the floor near the window. Not on the couch, not on the soft rug, on the hard floor, like she didn't deserve comfort yet. "Fern, you can get on the furniture." She patted the couch. Fern looked at it, then back at her, those amber eyes uncertain. She picked Fern up, all 15 pounds of solid orange cat, and placed her gently on the couch. Fern froze, waiting to be scolded. When no scolding came, she carefully kneaded the cushion once with those big white paws, then curled into the smallest ball possible. Week 1 brought tiny victories. Fern started greeting her at the door, but quietly, like being enthusiastic might be annoying. She'd follow from room to room, always staying back, always checking if it was okay. And every night, she'd sleep on the floor beside the bed, close enough to hear breathing, but not close enough to intrude. "Fern, come up here." She patted the bed on night 8. Fern looked at the bed like it was a test. Slowly, she jumped up, walked to the very edge, and laid down, taking up the smallest space possible. But that night, for the first time since leaving the shelter, Fern purred. It started quiet, then grew until the whole bed vibrated with it. Now, here's something most people don't understand about shelter cats, especially older ones. They don't just need time to adjust. They need time to remember they're allowed to want things, to take up space. to exist without apologizing. Drop a comment if you've ever adopted an older cat and watched them slowly remember how to just be a cat again. Month 2 changed everything. She came home to find Fern stretched across the entire couch, belly up, taking up as much space as possible. When she walked in, Fern didn't shrink or move. She just blinked those golden eyes slowly and stretched even bigger, like she was reclaiming territory she'd forgotten was hers. The transformation was beautiful. Fern started sitting on the kitchen counter, her favorite spot, watching everything with those intelligent eyes. She'd chirp at birds through the window, her massive frame leaning forward with the focus of a hunter who remembered what it felt like to be powerful. She'd demand pets by head-butting hands, play with toy mice like she was a kitten again, claim the warmest sunny spots without hesitation. But the most incredible change? Fern started meowing. Not much, but meaningful. A small chirp when she wanted attention, a gentle trill when she was happy, a louder meow when dinner was late. She'd found her voice again. 6 months later, Fern rules the house. She sprawls across the bed every night, pressed against her person's side like she's making up for 4 months of sleeping alone. She greets visitors with confident headbutts. She demands the good treats, the best spots, the longest petting sessions. The cat who made herself small in a shelter cage now takes up all the space she deserves. And every time she looks at Fern, this magnificent orange queen with golden eyes and white paws stretched out like she owns the world, she thinks about those 43 people who passed her by, who saw an ordinary orange tabby instead of an extraordinary soul, who wanted kittens and chaos instead of quiet dignity and earned trust. But here's what keeps her up at night. That shelter still has cats like Fern, older, quiet, passed over. Cats who've been waiting 50 days, 100 days, 200 days. Cats who used to be someone's everything and are now just cage numbers. Cats who've stopped showing personality because performing doesn't bring families anymore. So here's what I want to ask you. Right now, there's a cat sitting in a shelter cage watching people walk by, waiting for someone to see past the age, past the quiet, past the ordinary. That cat has been someone's companion, has survived loss, and is hoping someone will choose them anyway. Would you be that person? Would you look past the kittens in the front row and see the cat in the back corner? Would you take home the one nobody wants and discover they're everything you need? Because here's the truth. Sometimes the cats who take the longest to trust are the ones who love the hardest. What would you choose?